welcome to the channel. I wanted to hop on here and go live. Hey, come on in. Going to give it a few and see who pops on. So I decided to go live today. I wanted to talk to you guys about finding joy, y'all. Finding joy in the process, in the midst of what's going on in the world, in your journey, and things like that. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alyssa. I am your faith and inner work coach, okay? I am a certified Christian transformation coach, and I help Christian women heal with God after experiencing a toxic relationship. My goal is to have you healed so you can move forward, so you can live the purpose that God has for you, and you can ultimately have healthier relationships, even the one you have with yourself, okay? So in terms of joy, y'all, I just released a Where's Your Joy Meter quiz. So if you are like reading the description and you're like, where is my joy? Where am I in my joy meter? Make sure you download that. The link is in the description box. But y'all, there is so much going on in the world right now. You got high gas prices, you got inflation, groceries are high. You have all of these things going on, all of the gun violence, so much stuff going on in the world right now, that making sure that you have joy, making sure that you have a joy plan, making sure that you really are intentional about having joy, storing up your joy, and getting rid of some of the habits, the mental blocks, the spiritual blocks that just stand in the way and deplete you of joy. It's so important, y'all. So when I decided to do a masterclass, which I will talk to you guys about shortly, but when I decided to do this masterclass, I was thinking about the journey of building. When you're in the process of building your life, rebuilding your life after, leaving a toxic relationship, making that decision of like, hey, I'm going to build my confidence. I'm going to build my self-esteem. I'm going to deal with some of my issues from the past. I'm going to break generational cycles and curses off my life. When you make that intention to transform yourself, to better yourself, to grow, to really take a hold of that vision that God has given you for your life, and the one that you know that is actually possible. When you make that decision to actually build on it and have it come to pass, y'all, it's difficult. It's difficult. And a lot of the times, because we are so zoned in on the vision of what our future selves will look like, what our future life will look like, or what we desire for ourselves, what we desire for our lives, a lot of the times we have a difficult time finding joy in the present. Why? Because we are looking so far out long term. When you constantly focus on the long term, you are missing out on the present. You are missing out on the joy that God has for you right now, okay? So there are some things that consistently bring you joy. Consistently, okay? Consistently. That is the joy of the Lord, right? It says that the joy of the Lord is our strength. So the joy of the Lord is a constant thing. It's a consistent thing. You can always count on the joy of the Lord to be your strength, okay? So making sure that you're being intentional about having a relationship with God, that you're being intentional about your prayer time, right? Having a routine. There have been seasons in my life where I'm going, and like my prayer time is like talking to God in the car, which is great, right? Because you're talking to Him, but it's not as intentional as sitting still and saying, this is the only thing I'm focusing on, okay? So making sure that we're being intentional about the time that we're spending with God, that we're putting that on the forefront instead of on the back burner. Like a lot of the times we put joy on the back burner. It's only when we find ourselves completely depleted and flatlined after we have been going. Like, let me know in the comments if you have ever been burnt out, you have ever been completely depleted of joy, and you didn't really realize it until you got burnt all the way out, and then you were like, okay, yeah, I need to take a step back. I need to reevaluate what I'm doing. I need to, fill myself back up. The thing is, we don't want to wait until we're depleted, right? We want to be able to have joy in the right now. We want to be able to facilitate joy. Facilitate means to make it easier. Like, I want obtaining joy to be easier in my life. I want to intentionally think about, okay, what do I need to do on a weekly basis, on a daily basis to make sure that joy is a part of my everyday life? So I'll be going like live throughout the next 2 weeks on joy. Super excited about that, y'all. But joy can be found consistently. So the joy of the Lord, as we talked about, and it's so interesting to me because a lot of the times the spiritual stuff will help you mentally, it will help you emotionally, it will help you physically. When I started thinking about the joy of the Lord is our strength, right? That joy is emotional, right? But then it also helps us physically. One of the scriptures, it says that hope deferred makes the heart sick. So without like hope, without that joy, without that like sense of like, I can get through this, you actually get sick. That's like a physical thing. I've been there, right? It says that a good word is medicine to your bones. That's a physical thing. So a lot of the times when we put the joy of the Lord in the forefront, when we are intentional with our spiritual life, it also equates to that mental, that emotional, that physical. It really goes into all different aspects of our well-being, okay? Another thing that I always am adamant about is after you've prayed, after you've spent time with God, how are we actively using what we got in the secret place with God? One of the things that I know brings me joy is when I get a revelation, when I get a word from God, when I get something about like my vision, something about my purpose, when God gives me like a word, that is sustaining. That brings joy. That brings peace and comfort. But after I get out of that moment, after I get out of that prayer time with God, it's up to me to do things to keep that joy, to make it a consistent thing, right? Another like way that you could apply this is, okay, well, now that I have the vision, what do I actually do? How do I keep this at the forefront of my mind? For me, that looked like typing it up and putting it like smack dab somewhere I would see it constantly, right? It meant meditating on good things. The word tells us to do that. It means capturing thoughts that stand in the way between what God is saying, what God's promises are, and what, my brain is trying to tell me to think, what the enemy's throwing in there, right? I have to actually actively capture those things when I get out of prayer time. So something else to think about, y'all. But this masterclass, I really designed it. It's called Leap for Joy. I designed it to help those of you who are in the process of rebuilding your life, okay? Because because my dog's going out, but you want to make sure that you are doing the things necessary to continue to grow and prosper and move forward, right? So when I think of this when I think of this Leap for Joy Masterclass, I want it to be something that will give you actionable steps and tools to use in the right now so that you can actually move forward, so you can have a plan and you can actually see the transformation and get the results, okay? So the Leap for Joy Masterclass is on sale right now. It's $27 on my site. Make sure you check it out because you don't want to keep postponing your joy because you are looking on your future self, your future life, that future relationship you want to have. Joy is necessary for even getting you through now. It's necessary to getting to your next level. You can't continue to build without joy. So make sure that you sign up for this masterclass and you get the necessary tools that you need, y'all. I hope that this was helpful. Comment below, what are some ways that you are keeping your joy in this season, okay? Until next time, happy healing, y'all.